Hi everyone, I'm Ishan Sharma and welcome to the Roundup, a weekly show in which we'll be breaking down the latest news from technology, AI and much more. So make sure that you watch till the end and there will be timestamps so you can move over if you want to hear the best news that is relevant to you. But let's get started with what is happening out there. With me, I have Saransh, who is my co-founder at MarkitUp. How are you, Saransh?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. Let's get started. The first news is GPT-4 just got a new version in which GPT-4 can now see and hear. Let me show you what we are talking about here. So there's a viral tweet in which people are talking about the use cases of GPT-4V, right? So GPT-4V is the latest version in which GPT-4 can actually listen and watch what you are giving it as response. What you can see here is basically someone putting in a picture and asking them to convert this Figma design into a code base right here. And then they just paste the code into Replit. And there you go. You have a completely ready site using GPT-4 in just a couple of minutes. As you can see, usne usko run kiya, and now they can just share this link and it is good to go. That's what the site looks like. Let's just have a look at it ourselves. So this was the site. I think they put the link over here.
Right at the beginning.
Here a link.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at this site. What do you think, Saransh? You did CS, right? How good is this site? Matlab for like a 1 minute build.
Never a fan of front end, but to be honest, it looks decent. What is it responsive? That is what I would want to take a look at.
Let's try that. Inspect. I think it is responsive. Oops.
Not really. Yeah. So this is something which you might wanna explore. So basically, अलग frames में, if we can feed that, okay, mobile में ऐसा दिखना चाहिए, PC में ऐसा दिखना चाहिए, and if it starts working for that, I think that would be a very big game changer because that needs a lot of work. To be honest, like replicating a Figma design as it is relatively easier on a specific device. But when you think about more global, कि okay, it should be mobile friendly, for example, it actually turns out to be the problem.
But look at it, right? I think they can just put this line, ki also make it responsive for devices like mobile, iPad, and that can happen. But the basic idea is you can get your designs turned into ready-made front ends in just a couple of minutes. All right, another use case of GPT-4V is this picture in which someone has just uploaded a picture and asked, how could I improve this room? Right? So you can actually use it for interior design as well. And they've given inputs on how can the lighting be improved, how can the sofa, the artwork, the rug, the storage and other things can be improved, which is pretty interesting. But I think there are even better use cases that people have. Let's go down. Yeah, you can actually find hidden locations just like this one. So people have just put up a picture and they've asked, what is this place? Where is this place exactly? And GPT-4V is able to tell exactly what is the location, right? This is some island in Hawaii apparently. So that is also pretty interesting.
So do you know this guy who basically plays a lot of GeoGuessr and can guess any frame, any picture that you give to him? So there was this guy. So GeoGuessr करके एक game था which went viral during the COVID time. So what happens is that you are put in a Google Street View and वहाँ पे जाके you are supposed to guess कि map में कौन से location पे, right? So it can be a country, it can be a city, right? So you are supposed to guess the city or the country or even sometimes the locality. So there's this player who is really good at it, really good at it, and he manages to figure out कोई भी location. So there was this guy once जो flight पे था and he uploaded a picture, and then he said, guess where I am going. That guy actually took this picture from the aeroplane का window and he figured out the route of that airplane, जो भी path follow कर रहा था, and figured out that okay, since this was the location, you were going in this direction, you were probably going to this city. So उसकी job खतरे में है.
Very cool. Well, now you have all of that ability right in your pocket with the help of GPT-4V. Yeah. It's a bit hard to pronounce.
Even for the second use case that we just saw, right, interior design, it would be great if it can be coupled with DALL-E 3, for example, right? If it can probably edit out that part which GPT-4 thinks can be better, and वो अपने आप उस photo में चले जाए.
I think वो होगा. Yeah. I think we can put that prompt as well. So imagine that you're giving this image and you're asking for feedback, and then you say that please implement this and show me an ultra realistic version of what you think can be an improved version of this design, interior design right here.
Exactly. So that would make a lot of sense.
Very interesting thing. Okay, moving on. You can actually decipher the handwriting of anyone out there. No longer you need to guess what your doctor has prescribed you. You simply go in, upload on ChatGPT and just say, can you read this handwriting? And it is able to read that handwriting to you. Saransh.
So I am pretty sure this handwriting is actually quite good. So मैं अपनी handwriting तो expect नहीं करूँगा कि ChatGPT, sometimes even I can't understand. So
you can challenge it. So this is a very interesting thing. I think this is going to be very helpful for people who are trying to correct answer sheets or things like that.
So in fact, one more use case that I can see for this is that interior designers can definitely use this. But then IKEA, for example, right? What they can do is create a plugin that uses GPT-4 and DALL-E, and they train it on their furniture, whatever is available on their stores. And यहाँ पे जाकर के basically it would start adding all the furnitures, all the decorations that they have on their store. It can really help them boost their sales and make the experience very interactive.
If anyone working at IKEA is watching this video, there you go. There's another great idea to make more money. Okay. So it can decipher handwritings. It can tell what location is this. It can help you with interior design. It can also turn complete Figma files and pictures into ready to use front ends and code. What else? It can actually teach you through any diagram, right? So for example, ChatGPT breaks down the diagram of a human cell for 9th grader. Basically, इसमें क्या किया है? There's a picture of a human cell, and it is basically asked कि I am a 9th grade student and I'm struggling to understand what this is all about, right? So ChatGPT now is giving context on what the human cell comprises of, right? As you can see right here, which I think is great, right? What image would you want to ask a question about?
Probably there are all of these accounts on Instagram, Detective Vyomkesh Bakshi, trying to figure out which person is present in the reels or images. It would be great if ChatGPT could do that too.
So that is one more feature that we have. Coming up next is this one. So I will relate with this, and if you have done electronic engineering, then you will relate to it as well. Basically, this is
even CS for that matter. CS. Even I created something like this.
So this is digital design. कोई app था ना उसका Verilog, क्या बोलते हैं उस app को?
There was Model Sim and Verilog. Yes.
So there was some application that we used to have through which we can create these diagrams for what we want our circuit to basically look like to achieve a particular result, right? So basically, you can take a screenshot of it and you can upload it on ChatGPT, and you can just ask, what is this exactly and how does it work and what are the other components of it and how can I achieve this result with it, which I think is going to be great for solving questions.
True.
I wish I had this when I was doing my electrical engineering. So why it is going in depth at mega, oscillator circuit, decoupling capacitors. ठीक है, मेरे को सब कुछ भी नहीं पता क्या होता है. Okay, you can read parking signs with it as well, which I think is pretty cool. So this guy is talking about how क्या बोला वो? I will never get a parking ticket again. So it's basically asking, it's a Wednesday at 4 p.m. Can I park this at this spot right now? Tell me in one line.
Exactly. Why is it so complicated? There are so many things.
ये भी सही है. Yes, you can park for up to 1 hour standing at 1 p.m. 4 p.m. And the next tutorial, if you enjoyed it, check out my 5 AI prompts for writing. That's very typical of Twitter creators.
Influencers.
You can also use it for memes, right? So for example, we have this illustration right here. I'm glad we all agree, which they clearly don't. And then they work at their differences, and then they sort of end up agreeing with each other.
Right. I wanna feed some dank memes in there and see how it reacts. Like ethically wrong dank memes. And I wanna see how it works out.
Like कौन सा है? Do you remember anyone?
Let's not talk about it. बाद में भेजता हूँ.
Okay. So this is another thing that you can do. You can ask it to give you meanings of these graphics, illustrations, or memes as well for that matter. And it will give you all the explanation, right? What else? You can convert Figma designs into React components as well. So similar to the first use case, you can now use it. Just upload the Figma design that you have, which I think is this one, and it turns it into this. Let us read this first of all, right? So it says that can absolutely convert Figma designs into working React components. On the left, the design, on the right, the output. I specifically asked it to write the component in React using Material UI components and gave it the other direction. Gave it little other direction. It even correctly identified everything in the component, it would likely be a data prop. I think that this is creating an era in which you need to just know a bit about all of these terms. जैसे I don't know everything about React components, but I know कि क्या क्या बनाना पड़ता है, क्या props होते हैं, क्या सब कुछ होता है, and I will be able to get things done quickly without me having to do it myself and avoid the human error as well.
It's like having an intern and multiple interns in fact parallelly working.
Junior developer hire कर लिया.
ये करके दे दो मेरे को.
You've hired a junior developer which is going to be GPT-4V.
Yeah, hopefully
right?
you'll not give him production access.
Okay, you can give ChatGPT a picture of your team's whiteboarding session and have it write the code for you. This is absolutely insane. सही है, बढ़िया. You can just click a picture of it and it will give you exactly how it works. Yes, you are an expert software developer. This is my team's whiteboarding session for an onboarding flow. Creating onboarding flow based on the given things. सही है, काफी अच्छा. I think this is going to save more time.
I want to see the output. How does it go?
Okay, let's play this right now. तो फिर
This one's just absolutely unbelievable, and there's a ton of little details here that I want you to pay attention to. So I mocked up this whiteboarding session here, right? This is just a totally fake example. But I passed that photo to GPT-4 Vision.
उसने बोला you need to write the code for this in Next.js plus Tailwind CSS. Take a deep breath and think step by step about how you will do this. Now write the complete code for the working one step at a time. Okay.
With this basic prompt.
So it is not going to do a step-by-step breakdown and turn this picture that you can see into a full-fledged code base.
Just write the code for it. Let me set this down. And I really want you to pay attention to this, right? So generated the code, I pasted that into VS Code here. And now watch this. So you're going to see step 1 here is enter your name. Check out the diagram here. So the model was able to see that I had these arrows and it actually flipped the order of these. And I wanted to test if it could do that. And sure enough, it does. So now if I do a name here. Sorry, I'm trying to type with one hand. And you're going to see, what is your email, McKay? Okay. You're going to see in this step, I specified should refer to you by name once provided. So it flipped these steps, so it knew name, then email, and it knew once it got to email, it needed to refer to me by name. This is crazy. This is all on image. I'm just going to put some fake stuff here. You're going to see it's now asking us to confirm if we're over 18 or not. Still referring to me by name. You're going to see I split that here. So one branch goes up here to show the site. The other goes to the second option here, and you're going to see I crossed sorry screen and instead put kid version, and you're going to see I'm going to click no, and we're getting welcome to the kid version of the site. So it knew that I had crossed that out and sent us here instead of building that. So just by passing,
I think this is more like pseudocode and logic that you create on paper, and then you just tell it to just make it, which I think is very interesting.
This basic, but the fact that it's flipped was very interesting. Like, I was confused. What does the arrow mean?
So I think this is a language that it will need to learn. कि अच्छा इससे उसको समझ में आता है.
Exactly.
So for it to understand your, language या फिर जो चीज़ है कि flip करने के लिए ऐसे arrow डालना पड़ेगा. That you have to learn. But I think this is pretty cool.
But at the same time, one interesting thing is that it, instead of asking for age, it asked, are you above 18 or not? So it only tried figuring out the important factors, right? It doesn't care about the number, it cares about whether it is more than 18 or less than 18, which is good in a way and bad in a way, because age हो सकता है कि बाद में डेटा में काम आता कहीं ना कहीं, right? But at the same time,
but उससे समझ में आ गया ना, यहाँ पे 2 ही कंडीशन बना रखी हैं आगे,
right? But saving it is a good idea in general for any user, right? So that makes sense. अगर कोई 16 है,
यहाँ पे specify कर सकते होगा, I think वो यहाँ पर,
अगर वो 16 है for example and वो kids version में अभी के लिए redirect हो रहा है, 18 के बाद like the user will go to the normal version अगर वो डेटा स्टोर किया होता तो.
Makes sense. But ये सब डेटाबेस में क्या थोड़ी होगा? डेटाबेस तो you'll have to still make yourself.
I mean of course यहाँ पे flow decide हो रहा है, but then it is an important metric जो मेरे को लगता है कि सेव होना चाहिए था.
Right. So these were all the new features that you get with GPT-4V, which can now hear and watch what you are giving it as an input. And it's pretty interesting. I think this is going to enable a lot of new use cases of ChatGPT as we are seeing right now. And let's move on to the next news, which is Lex Fridman podcast. So Lex Fridman, I think yesterday uploaded a podcast with Mark Zuckerberg and it went viral because इस podcast के अंदर Lex Fridman was talking to Mark Zuckerberg using Meta Quest Pro and they were talking in the metaverse. As you can see right here, नीचे he is in this sort of matrix. So as you can see, this is what it looks like right now. And they were basically sitting in various places of the country. In US, he was sitting in a different place altogether and Mark was sitting in a different place, but they were still being able to talk to each other with the help of the Meta Quest Pro, right? So अगर हम आगे जाएं थोड़ा सा, this is essentially what it looks like. So in one place, you have the real Mark Zuckerberg. Then you have the 3D image that it has been able to map. Then it has made an avatar of Mark Zuckerberg, which I think is pretty interesting. How real does this look to you?
I think the expressions look very natural, although it looks like it has been shot in very bad lighting conditions at the same time. But yeah, overall, I think it is quite impressive. The fact that the expressions are, very, very close to what they actually look like in the original video.
This is reminding me of those clips from Iron Man, right? Iron Man अपने suit के अंदर कैसा दिखता है. If you can just play that clip right there, it looks very similar to that. I think अभी जारो सा जाएगा side से and all that. Yeah. That is very interesting. I think हम लोगों को समझ में नहीं आ रहा because we are still looking at it from a 2D perspective. Yeah. Using the Quest Pro ourselves, I think we'll be able to tell that in a better way. Correct. But people were terrified about this. Below, some people were like, this is amazing, this is looking very good. But then we have Mr. Beast talking about, wow, since when did we go from 3-pixel avatars to this? What the hell did I miss? I think this looks better.
Yeah, this was nicer.
But like, if you really think, is this a need or is this a want? Like, how important is this experience?
I think everything is a want when it starts. Slowly it converts into
I'm
need.
just asking who asked for it. Right, that is what it's not that someone needs to ask for it, but I'm just trying to understand what is the use case of it exactly. Obviously, it will feel better. Now, I was hearing this podcast of Lex Fridman and Mark, and a very important question that Lex asked was about what if I can create this avatar of a friend of mine or a family member, and they end up dying. Okay, will I still be able to talk to that avatar using AI? And that can be done in a very 3D immersive experience like both of them are having. And that is a very interesting question. Just imagine, right? If there is a company who can do this for you, and how big of an opportunity can this be? But would people want to do that?
I think it makes a lot of sense. If not for these... So basically, feelings aside, right? Feelings, so of course, people would want that to preserve the kind of person who existed at some point of time. But then intellect, right? So smart people can have their own avatars, and it is not even necessary to have a person वहाँ पे. But then even the intellect, if we can replicate that, it would be very, very interesting. In fact, it can revolutionize the way teaching works, right? A lot of good teachers, उनकी education काफ़ी remote जगहों पर भी we can take it, and the experience would be very, very immersive at that time. So watching YouTube videos is a whole different thing. But there was this professor who used to create MOWK videos. Do you remember that? What was his name?
I don't remember all of that, bhai. ये सब क्यों remember?
He used to upload a lot of videos on YouTube.
I remember something like that.
Yeah, I forgot his name. He's a very well-known professor. So if that can be done, right? He used to show a lot of 3D experiments. He used to show a lot of experiments, real-time physics experiments. So I think that would be very, very interesting.
But the thing is, this is Meta Quest Pro, and they are trying their best to make sure that they can convert this experience, right? So Lex had to go to their office. It took him, I think, multiple hours to actually get a complete scan of his body and for this avatar to be presentable. But in the future, there can be a day in which you can just use your phone and just look at it, and it will be able to completely map out and turn yourself into a 3D image, an avatar of yourself that you can use for such immersive calls and experiences.
Yeah.
Imagine the adult content industry with this content.
You can make
Someone
anyone
needs
do
to be
anything.
working on this. भाई कितने सारे लोग पे करेंगे सोच.
I don't think there is a reason why someone is not already trying to crack it open.
It's a big market.
Yeah, it is a huge
Big opportunity.
market. Yeah.
It can be very immersive. Just imagine, right? Like it's right in your face. Okay, so that was a very interesting thing that happened recently. We have another news, and this one is another news from OpenAI, which is about DALL-E 3. So OpenAI recently launched DALL-E 3, which is going to be available right inside of ChatGPT to you. You can simply just use it to create images. The place in which it is better than Midjourney is that it can generate text inside of your images, which are actually accurate. Right? So for the longest time, we've been trying to use Midjourney for making logos, for making posters, and it is not working. It's more of a artsy platform, right? You can create like artistically nice looking pictures from Midjourney, but you will still have to use like Photoshop or Canva to now put the text on it. No longer you need to do that because here we have DALL-E 3, right? There are some examples of Batman and Robin and comics like these, and you can have that text in multiple different font faces and typography and whatnot. And this is what it looks. It's very in-depth, very detailed, and looks amazing.
Looks very original too.
Yeah, exactly. Now there is already an app which is doing this for completely free. You can use this thing called as Ideogram.ai. It's a free tool and use it to create images which has text in it itself. Right? I don't know kab tak free rahega wo, but I think it's a great tool that all of you should be using if you cannot get your hands on DALL-E 3, which I think will be happening very soon. But if you just go to Ideogram, think of a image.
Let's try doing something similar on the lines of the Batman comic.
I think if I just use the same prompt, if I just use this prompt right here, right? Create a black and white comic book panel with Batman standing looking panicked and afraid. I'll just copy the same thing and let's see what do we get from Ideogram, which is completely free. And by the way, DALL-E 3 will require you to pay. The only disadvantage with Ideogram is that it takes time, right? Obviously it is free, so they have limited server bandwidth. Tons of people are already using it. So as you can see, it will take some time.
Now we wait. Wait 10 seconds.
Okay, it's happening. Generation progress. But you can already see what people are creating, right? You can create these billboards saying we need a search button, for example. Yeah, you can have these cute looking stickers. I think I also used Ideogram to make my own sticker for my book, Unlocking Unicorn Secret. And it works amazingly well, right? So that is one thing that you can definitely try out. And here it is. Let's see. So this is what we get. Robin is the keyword that we had.
Now the interesting thing is that
it's not the best.
Yeah. So
it's not the best.
It is messing up typography all the time. It is not black and white. Jabki, like the first statement is create a black and white comic book. Right. So, but still, I think even the first one, is this black and white? I don't know. I'm colorblind.
It is black and white. It is more like gray and white.
That's a gray. Okay. I thought it is blue for some reason.
No, but this is proper black and white with some yellow as well.
Yeah, it is not black and white.
It's not the same.
Even this is not black and white. It has a yellow tint.
It is like ऐसे बहुत use कर लिया इसको तो थोड़ा पीला पड़ गया. Anyway, so that's what you have. I think for a free tool, you'll have to regenerate it. I think we had to regenerate the output, and as you can see, now it is much better.
It is better, yeah.
Right? This is a black and white image. No, this still has some skin color into it.
But the text is fine.
Yeah, the text is good. I think for a free tool, this is much better. Batman, Robin.
I mean, we don't know how many.
For how long it'll be available for free.
No, we don't know how many attempts it took to create this DALL-E 3 thing.
That is also we don't. But it's very nice. I think we can finally create amazingly detailed pictures along with text with the help of DALL-E 3 itself. In another news, we have ChatGPTs talking to each other in different instances. So as you can see, this is what it looks like. Right? Just an example of what it can actually do.
Yo,
right?
ChatGPT, how's it going, bro? I've been hearing some buzz about your voice capabilities. Fill me in, would you?
And then
Well,
the
it's good,
other one
bro.
will reply.
So here's the deal. I've been upgraded to have this voice capability where users can chat with me using their voice. And guess what, bro? I can respond back with a supernatural sounding voice. It's like we're having a legit convo, just you and me, vibing. It's next level stuff, bro. Anything else you want to know about it? Bro, that's straight up fire. It's like you're bringing those sci-fi movies to reality. Having a natural chat with an AI? Mind-blowing. So, dude, have users tried to have like karaoke sessions or sing-offs with you? That would be hilarious, bro.
So, a couple of things from this audio that you just heard. Number one is that it is saying in a very chill tone. I don't know
It
if
is
that
very
was
casual.
told to the instance to talk like that.
Yeah.
And secondly, it sounds very natural, right? Like I would not be able to distinguish between like, what's up, bro? What's up? It is in that tone.
Yeah, it doesn't sound robotic at all.
Yeah. There will be so many more, videos in which they do like a comparison of ChatGPT talking with Google Assistant, talking with Siri acting all dumb, and then you have Amazon Alexa coming in.
There are those videos, right, where Trump is talking to Biden and Obama. I think that would be even more fun now.
That will be very interesting. So that is another feature that you have with GPT-4V. Moving on, let's go and have a look at the next news. So the next one is very interesting. This one is coming from Meta, and it is this amazing video. Now I want you to have a look at this. Basically what is happening here is that Meta just unveiled its smart glasses in collaboration with Ray-Ban. What does it mean? Basically, there are two very interesting things you can do with it, right? Number one, you can live stream whatever it is that you are seeing from the smart glasses itself on Instagram and Facebook. And the second thing is Meta AI, right? Now, Meta AI is a new feature in which you can basically communicate through audio with Meta AI, right? And you can just ask questions while you're walking on the street, or you're just, writing your homework, or just doing whatever you want, right? Now, when I had a look, just have a look at this video.
I actually don't have a camera in my hands. I'm recording with these glasses on my face. These are the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses, and they're about to change the way that we create.
You done looking at yourself in the mirror?
Let's walk around campus and show you what these can do.
Hey Meta, start recording. Okay, so the first thing we gotta talk about is the camera. Super high quality and gives you these great POV shots, which are awesome for BTS content and creating really authentic.
Now, I have already ordered them. I have a friend of mine who's living in US, and because of that, I was able to get it delivered to his address. It is coming for about $299. Starts from $299, and it will be coming out on October 17th. So that's the Meta glasses. Now, there are two types of people in the comment section, right? Meta Connect recently happened, in which Mark revealed the smart glasses in collaboration with Ray-Ban. People had two ideas. Number one was the positive one, right? This is amazing.
Yeah.
It will create a new perspective. That's what I am coming from as well. I want to live stream my whole college event where I go to people on Instagram, like the complete event from my POV. Right? And that is what I think would be a great thing to do. And that's why I've ordered it. I will be trying it out very soon. So stay tuned for that. The second type of people in the comments, right? Now they are talking about the ill effects of something like this. Now, if you have a look at this is Mark Zuckerberg looking ripped. I think he's been taking some jiu-jitsu classes and all that. How would you rate his physique, bro?
Mine is better. But I'd still like to switch places.
Sad Mark Zuckerberg noises. Anyways, so he unveils the smart glasses, which look pretty good. It looks just like a normal glass that you wear. And I think if you take like a luxurious glass, it will cost you about that mark, like 15,000 rupees is the normal price for it.
I think it is quite decently priced.
Yeah,
it is not
yeah.
very expensive.
Yeah, I thought it would be more expensive than what it was, based on what all it does. Right. So, and if you're thinking about the battery life, it lasts for about 4 hours, after which you can connect it with its case.
Yeah. So
right?
like earphone, you have your sunglasses case, which is anyways there.
Right.
So they just added a charger there.
And that is very interesting, because now you can just put it there and you can get 36 hours of more battery power from itself. Right. So that is how it looks. As you can see, 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, and we just saw the quality of the camera, which looks very good. I have never live streamed on my Instagram account yet, but I think this is the best moment for me to do it. So you start live streaming on your Instagram account, and then you switch to your POV using the glasses.
That would be a good debut.
Yes. So this is very interesting. It also has dual speakers and microphone. I think Facebook already had a Ray-Ban glasses pehle. It was called Ray-Ban Stories, through which you can just click pictures and make some small videos.
Yeah.
Now it is coming up with the AI feature, through which wherever you are looking, whatever you are seeing, you can just ask a question. Hey Meta, how do I solve this problem? Or hey Meta, what does this place look like? Right? What is the name of this place? Or you can ask any question.
It would even solve the questions that you never asked for, like showing recommendations based on whatever you are seeing without your consent.
that can happen, but that is the fear, right? People are fearing that this will enable Mark to collect even more data.
Yeah, that's
right.
true.
They will have access to your live video, like whatever you are looking at every single day. That's gonna make their ad suggestion much better.
Yeah.
Right. So people were fearing about that, and they were like, privacy, RIP privacy, and all that. And then there was
It is a valid concern. I think it is a very valid concern.
But that's why, right, when it starts recording, I think it starts blinking at the side, and that tells you it is recording. But still, it is hard for you to tell, right? If you're in like a coffee place, you're just doing your own work.
If you're in a bright setup, then it is difficult to identify.
Another thing is the people and their hate of Mark Zuckerberg. Like, Mark is peacefully just introducing and launching his product, and people are like, we just hate Mark and all. Why do you think people hate Mark?
I think privacy is one big reason. He has the image of Mark is not as. I think any rich person doesn't have a very nice image. The capitalism doesn't let you do that, except if you're like Tata maybe.
No, but people can compare Mark to a lizard, right? Or like an alien, because he sort of looks very stiff when he is out there.
Let's just stick to different.
Yeah, different. So, right, like for example, you can see, right, I like how Zuck realized that the reason people disliked him was not because the things Facebook did, but because he was goofy looking. So he did what he always does, hire a growth team, got hot, and then suddenly became the most likable billionaire.
I don't think that is true, but okay.
That is a made up story. And then someone underneath is like, nah, who cares if he's hot? I want open source AI models and cage match with Elon.
Yeah, I agree. I want a cage match too. It's going to be so much fun.
I am convinced that if Zuck simply got a normal haircut, Meta's stock price would double.
True, I agree.
So this was, I think, Mark a year ago.
He has the same hair all the time. Huh?
Yeah, he has a very consistent style. He's like a brand in himself, as a brand guidelines and all.
Is it a wig? Imagine if someone takes it off and there are all wires inside.
No, I hope it is not a wig. But he does wear the same brand t-shirts all the time. It's called Brunello Cucinelli. And the reason he does that is because it helps him to, think less and focus on what he does best, which is stealing data.
It makes sense. Oh, he just as I wanted to do that.
Not sure about got hot, but Zuck definitely got fit, similar to Bezos.
True. No, actually,
I don't know what
this
is
is
it?
a glow up. This is
a glow up, but what is it with these billionaires, right? Like Elon Musk in 1998 looked like he was older, and Elon Musk today looks much younger. It's like they're reverse aging. Like it's like fine wine, it gets better with time.
Having money solves a lot of problems.
but क्या करते हैं ये लोग भाई? इससे ऐसे कैसे बन गया बंदा ये?
I think first step was shaving off all the hair.
So yeah, that's. Do you hate Zuck? If you do, let me know below. Why do you hate him? And I think that people have this like cancel culture, and they just cancel people and they just never give them another chance.
It is very easy to hate on someone.
Yeah.
Right. But then if you were at his place, you would be probably doing the same thing. So.
But the interesting thing is that Zuck is very smart in what he's doing, right? Like people might think metaverse is not a great idea, but he in his mind is always trying to survive and make sure that Facebook lasts for a long time, right? Like with Meta acquiring new apps, trying to pitch and acquire Snapchat, then trying to bid for Twitter as well long ago. So he's trying his best, right?
Yeah.
If not buy, then just copy paste. So that is sort of what his model is. He's trying his best.
Interestingly, if you go to Instagram, and take a look at the left bottom corner. Just do that.
क्या है वहाँ पे?
अरे Instagram खुला हुआ है, 4th tab.
Oh, Instagram. हाँ. क्या?
Threads.
Threads.
He added it here, so to drive in some more traffic.
So he is trying his best. And I personally know a friend of mine who was working right next to Mark in the office, right? So he used to see him working every single day and they were very motivated by him. It's always like the people on Twitter who are, feeling like that. Ki to
We don't know how an alien looks like, bro. What the fuck are you saying?
What a stereotypical representation of an alien would be is what he has sort of become. But anyways, let's not let's give him some love for the Meta AI and the smart glasses. Though those do look cool.
Yeah. I agree. I think the tech is interesting. And also it would make a good hook. We don't know how an alien looks like.
Okay, next up we have CRED, which has a new marketing campaign. CRED has these really innovative campaigns that we can have a look at today. So CRED has launched something called as Garage. CRED Garage. So, and they have this really interesting campaign in which they have these really antique cars or like nostalgic cars that they have, like Batmobile is there. They have a Scooby-Doo car, van over there. They have a Scooty as well. And then they have this platform that they have built called as CRED Garage. Essentially, you can go there and you can get the insurance done, you can pay for FASTag, you can do like reminders, parking, concierge, maintenance, car wash. Everything for your car is now accessible in CRED itself. What do you think about this move? Why did they go and do something like this? It's very different from what they used to do. They used to be like a, cashback rewarding app. And from that to today, helping people manage their car and all.
I think... First of all, like from a very financial point of view, I think to secure more funding, like the more features you have, the more funding you can raise, probably the more revenue. But from how probably Kunal Shah looks at it, I think he would be looking at, again, targeting the rich, right? So the idea behind going for a credit card based business, right? Although he's offering UPI, right? So UPI, everyone is using UPI now. But the reason why it is centered around credit card was to target more rich people who are wealthy, people who are who basically are managing to get the credit cards, right? And cars is again something on the similar lines.
Right.
People who are rich actually manage to have a car.
So it's like the everything app for people who are the top 1 or 2% of India.
Yeah, I think that was Rahul was saying in his tweet, right? Ki, it is switching from top 1% to top 10%. So I think that is a good thought process, I think. But at the same time, it is a bit too off the track as well. I'm not sure what plan Kunal Shah has with these things.
I think he is the most underrated entrepreneur that we have in India, particularly because he gets a lot of flack for starting CRED, burning tons of money. For what, right? At the end, the app that he has built, it's not doing well, is what people say. But what I have heard from people, I cannot talk about things, but what I have heard is that he has some really cool shit going on. So we'll be seeing that in the future as well, right? But we have this very popular meme, right? What's your business model is what investors are asking. CRED is like, ऐसा बिल्कुल immediately नहीं सोचे हैं, but सोचेंगे.
So now the thing is, I don't think he is very underrated. I think a lot of people admire him as well. But at the same time, there are a lot of people on extremes. People who admire him a lot and people who hate him a lot at the same time. So I think that is the thing with CRED.
But you have to look at the design that they have, right? Look at this design. It looks amazing. Like that is the one thing that CRED every single time just, goes all in with.
Yeah, that's really cool. But then, as the haters would say, design से पेट नहीं भरता.
नहीं, but
अच्छे design से घर नहीं चलता.
But they have like 3D mock-ups of all the cars, right? You can just pick, this is my car, and it will just like show you how it looks like. It is a bit gimmicky. I don't know how useful that is.
I mean, you have that car. You should know how it looks like.
Anyway, so that was CRED Garage. That was some free publicity from us.
And about free publicity, I think it really went well for him, right? I think I saw a lot of meme pages post this. I think it was paid at the beginning, but later on it took that viral turn.
That is the best part about CRED's ads, right?
Yeah,
like
true.
they are very smartly made. I think that Tanmay Bhatt works for the ads and the creativity behind it, and it just looks amazing, right? Every single time. I have worked with CRED as well, and they have some of the most unique ads. Like if you want to get into the ad business or like understand how marketing works,
they're a good case
study every single ad that they've put out and see why are they maybe sometimes targeting nostalgia. Why are they targeting this Batmobile? Why do they want like a
Neeraj
Neeraj Chopra and all, right? So all of these things are very interesting, and that is what makes CRED's ads unique. And you have to give the credit where it is due. Moving on, Noida International Airport is coming out soon. As you can see right here, it will be called as DXN. It's going to be much better than the IGI airport. Apparently, it's going to have four different terminals. As you can see right here, right? There will be 4 terminals, 2 runways, each 4,000 meters long. Now, according to this tweet right here, this airport is going to be bigger than the IGI airport that we currently have. However, 4 terminals, which is compared to 3 terminals in the Delhi airport. And it will just make the whole Delhi NCR a lot more connected. Right, I was once in Greater Noida for an event in a college, right, and उसमें I made sure कि मैं सुबह वाली flight ले रहा हूँ. So early morning, 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock I woke up, and मैंने 1 घंटा लगा मेरे को. I reached IGI airport and I was able to take my flight back to Bangalore. But I think this is going to solve a lot of problem that people might be having with connectivity. Next up, we have an interesting tweet from Vijay Shekhar Sharma in which he talks about the financials of Indigo Airways and particularly the food and beverages revenues, right? So he says that the money that Indigo made through food and beverages in the airline is 762 crores, as you can see right here, in the last 1 year, right? Compared to 761 crores in Barbecue Nation, right? And that is huge if you think about it. उनका वो main business भी नहीं है, and they're still able to make such crazy revenue numbers at such scale. And that tells कि भाई people, even though जो खाना होता है airport planes में, it is not that good, it is not that tasty, people still want to invest into it to have that experience. मतलब I was recently, I think we both were going to Nagpur from Bangalore on an Indigo plane after a very long time. I usually go on Vistara only. But when I went there, I got a very nicely designed package. एक hamper सा मिला था, and उसके अंदर what did we have? We had like a juice from paper boat.
Yeah.
We also had cashews.
Oatmeal cookie.
हाँ, oatmeal cookie थी and
sandwich was also
sandwich
there.
was also
जो अलग से मिला था, but yeah, it
right.
was also there.
So all of that was very well designed. उस पर बहुत ज़्यादा copy लिखा हुआ था कुछ, and that looked very good, right? So Indigo has been focusing on this for a very long time, and as you can see, the average order value is 250 rupees. That is, I think, the price of a
decent
sandwich.
Yeah, मतलब it depends. They have a lot of things. So I remember when I was in Leh, तो वहाँ से वापस आते हुए I ordered some noodles. I think it was 200-ish rupees as well.
Kappa noodles.
Indigo is a straight up monopoly at this point. मतलब Vistara and Air India is of course there. Tata is also there. But then the problem is Vistara doesn't fly to a lot of destinations, right? It is confined to only metropolitan cities and वहाँ से जो एक tier 2 cities पे probably.
The thing with Indigo is that it is able to do the bare minimum very well. And because of that,
and it can scale it very well.
And because of that, they're able to win the Indian market. Like if you go to other markets and other countries, right, you have to go to the other level, right? They focus a lot on the quality of food that you're serving. जो गरम खाना देते हैं वहाँ पे, right? Instead of just the snacks that we have here in Indigo, but it's still good. I think that वो जो case होता है ना, in which they used to serve पहले cashews and almonds, people think that इसको कहीं और भी use कर सकते हैं, and I think every household might have one of those, right? So it's always like a very interesting tactic that Indigo is able to play. Amazing branding, amazing tactics, and that is why they have like 61% share.
They're, as I said, monopoly at this point. And I think at the same time, Go Air went bankrupt, right? Akasa is not doing great. I think there are some issues there as well. Uske alawa SpiceJet, people don't want to travel with SpiceJet, right? So I think that is an interesting thing. If SpiceJet manages to, uplift their image and reputation by doing something, I don't know what, that would be very interesting, right? I think that is the only survivor at this point of time which is offering low cost airline.
But I think Kunal Shah talks about it. Cross sell of high gross margin products is relatively easy when you have engaged affluent customers, right? When you have them on the experience, it's much easier for them to upsell for more products over
It's
there.
like the theater thing, right?
Yeah.
People buy popcorn all the time without thinking about how much money they're spending. They just want the experience.
Also, Trevor Noah just cancelled his show, which was about to happen in Bangalore, the stand-up. And that was because of the poor execution that happened by the management team, right? Now, you can see, right, why did that happen? There was this whole thread which was talking about what happened. Like, the traffic in Bangalore is so crazy that it will take you 44 minutes with a cab and 42 minutes while walking in this situation right here that you can see right now. So that just goes on to show you how crazy the traffic is right now. And I think there were more tweets about it, right? This is one tweet. Then we had another tweet in which there was a person who ordered Domino's and it was delivered to him while he was in the car itself, in the traffic, right? This might be like a Domino's ad campaign. We don't know about that. But anyways, this just goes on to show you how severe the traffic was. अब मैं तो मुंबई में था. I do not really know about what happened. I went to Mumbai for 3-4 days and उसके बीच में बैंगलोर में कुछ त्राईमाम हुआ है.
Yeah. So there was this protest जिसकी वजह से बैंगलोर बंद था. And the next day I get this news कि there is jam and everything and Trevor Noah का show cancel हो गया. So I don't know what exactly happened. But the region, पिछले screenshot में जो वो region था KR Puram वाला जो road, I think that is always very busy. I have been there like twice, thrice, and after a point of time I was like कि ठीक है, my destination is close, I'll just walk. So it is, I think it happens very frequently. But yeah, इस time कुछ ज़्यादा ही scale पे, बड़े scale पे हुआ ही है.
Right. Exactly. नहीं, but traffic तो Bangalore हमेशा ज़्यादा रहता ही है, right? Now the thing I'm thinking is that Bangalore, which is supposed to be the most high-tech place, right? वहाँ पे Trevor Noah का show cancel हो गया, right? Trevor Noah apologized in a tweet that you can see on your screen right now. But it is just uncommon to see something like this happen. I think the management has also tried their best. I know people who are working at Book My Show and they have tried their best. And I don't know what happened as a result of this. Right, so it's very weird. It's not that ऐसे हुए नहीं है events पहले, बहुत से events हुए हैं organized.
Also, I think it is not a Domino's paid campaign because they have the sticker, right? 100% like no contact delivery and something like that, right? वो एक label निकला हुआ है. So if it was a paid campaign, I don't think they would do that.
Okay, well now you know that is free publicity for Domino's. There is a thread that went viral on Twitter which talks about why the event was cancelled. It goes to talk about how the event location was not very accessible. वहाँ पर internet नहीं था and everything was done through QR codes. And वो scan करने के लिए internet ही नहीं है, तो फिर how will they do it? कहीं पे वो park नहीं कर पा रहे, किसी के पास भी taxi नहीं मिल रही है, right? So it was very hectic, right? वहाँ पे जो mics थे, जो speaker system था, it was not working. So apparently because of that, the event got cancelled. And Book My Show had an apology as well on Twitter about it. But I think this should not have happened. We were expecting it to be very good.
I think, to be honest, like arranging events at scale is a very big problem. So I went to this IPL final, Chennai versus Gujarat, and it was at Ahmedabad Wala Stadium. So it has a huge capacity. I think 110,000 people or so. I remember going there and there was security check. There was supposed to be security check, and usme they are just frisking quickly and go. Right, so they don't have any time. So I think managing events at such scale is very, very difficult. And the biggest problem is security. I think I'm not sure how many measures they took to make sure that nothing goes wrong. But then it is a difficult thing. It sounds very easy. People are very
quick to critique and hate on it. But I think it's a very difficult task to be pulling something off like this.
Exactly.
I think most of the people will get refunded according to the tweet that Book My Show had, so shouldn't really be worried about that. Anyways, let's move on to the next news that we have, and that is Shark Tank's new judge, and that is Ritesh Agarwal. Right, so there was a reel that you can see right here recently, just 3 years ago, in which you can clearly see that Ritesh Agarwal has joined Shark Tank as the new judge for season 3. I think this is gonna be better than season 2.
Yeah, I think it is gonna get
right, but it is still not going to be as massive as Ashni is over, because like I have personally met Ritesh and he's a completely different personality, right? I think we both...
He's very sweet.
Exactly. So we went to meet him at the townhouse itself, which was in Indore, and he was sitting with all of the employees of OYO, just talking about, how can they work better, how can they achieve profitability, which I think this quarter they were able to achieve, which is amazing. But this is very good news.
Yeah, I want to see this season.
The good part is that Oyo is finally profitable and now he's becoming a judge.
Now people can't complain कि ये लोग
अब नहीं बोल सकते कि ये तो loss making startup चला रहे हैं. So that is going to be very interesting. But I think, Ritesh's story is very interesting. Like, there was a whole chapter that we wrote about his story on Unlocking Unicorn Secret. So you can check out the book if you want to know about his story before you go on to watch season 3 and learn about all the startups that are pitching over there. So that is Ritesh Agarwal in Shark Tank India season 3.
And I, to be honest, love the way he speaks, right?
Yeah.
So it is going to be very interesting to see the transition from Ashni to Ritesh, right? They're completely different personalities, but I believe that they can be equally entertaining as well, right? If there are a lot of depth, there's a lot of depth that is explored whenever a startup comes into pitch.
I was talking to a Oyo employee recently when I was in Mumbai, and he was talking about how Ritesh is able to handle all of this huge company, this gigantic, employee number that he's been able to maintain at Oyo. And he talked about how he's able to give feedback to someone and yet not make them feel smaller or make them feel bad or make them feel egoistic, right? So he'll get his point across, yet it will feel like कि ये कोई अच्छी बात कर रहे हैं, मतलब
he wants you to improve. It is not like you are doing bad, but you can do better.
Yeah, तो he was giving an example कि ऐसे कोई अगर बता रहा है कि मैंने ये चीज़ करना भूल गया मैं उनकी मीटिंग में, right? तो he will not shout, he will just say, just accept your mistake. Right. And if you're like, ठीक है, I have accepted my mistake. Next time I will improve and I will work on it.
Right.
So, and that is what he focuses more on. But if you are just like, कि नहीं मैंने mistake नहीं करी है and all that, तो he will try to sort of put that point across कि इन्होंने भी अपने हथियार डाल दिए तो आप भी डाल दो हथियार. Right. So that is.
And I really like his outfit, by the way. His t-shirt says townhouse. And by the way, when we met him, it was in a townhouse. Yeah. So he always, so interesting story. He always stays. He tries to always stay in Oyo whenever he's traveling across India. So yeah, that is also an interesting story. He's also promoting his own brand there.
But guys, if you want to see the whole podcast I did with him, let me know in the comment section. I would love to put it out on YouTube so that all of you can see what one of the youngest billionaires of the country have to say about how can you start up. To end today's session, we want to touch upon iPhone 15 Pro and the recent issues that it is facing. And that is about the overheating issues, right? So iPhone 15 Pro recently came out this month itself. And the problem that most people are facing is how easy it is to break or for it to crack. As we saw in this jerry rig everything, right? There was a very famous iPhone 6 gate that happened, right? जिसमें वो bend हो जाता था, right? In this case, the glass just cracked, right? And I think this part is going to demonstrate that.
No reaction to my ladder. Nice work, Apple. We'll try out my big boy ladder in a second. It's time to see if the new blended aluminum titanium grafted hybrid structure compromises the structural integrity of the iPhone 15 Pro Max.
Okay, here it is. Here it goes. And it is cracked.
The sound it makes is just funny at this point.
We've been watching the durability test smartphones for about 11 years now, and most phones.
I mean, I don't think anyone would be putting that much pressure on a phone. So this is very unrealistic. So don't think that ऐसे टूट जाएगा phone.
I disagree.
क्यों?
There are people with rage issues.
अरे तो normal इंसान के लिए सोच के बनाते हैं.
So I think it is a big enough problem. If like I wonder कि ऐसे situations में I often wonder that Apple के office में क्या हो रहा होगा, right? So if I was one of the Apple PR, I was in Apple PR team, probably I'd be looking to find out ways through which I can do some damage control here.
Right.
So
but
yeah.
maybe they just want that publicity as well. I don't know.
If you're there are always optimistic people like you जिनको बोलना होता है कि हाँ ये तो planned था. But then it doesn't make sense to me.
So we have some information on why the overheat happened. It says that it is not due to the titanium design. It is more because of due to compromised thermal design that they had, right? So you can't possibly have missed the reports. तो अगर ये article देखें and what it talks about, right? Analyst Minchiko talks about, including that A17 Pro chipset isn't to blame for the overheating, but rather the compromise Apple made in the design to the thermal system. That was the whole episode of the Roundup episode number 1. If you have any suggestions on how can I improve it, please let me know in the comment section below. I'm gonna make a new episode every single week, so make sure that you stay tuned, subscribe, share it with your friends, and don't forget to follow the Clips account on Instagram if you just want some bite-sized news around what you care about the most in tech and AI. Thank you so much for watching. You can hit the like button, share it with your friends. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, stay curious. Bye-bye.